People laughed at him. They called him a failure. They said he would never succeed. But one simple lesson changed everything. Watch till the end. Welcome back to Motisafe. Today, I want to share a story about Aarav, a boy from a small, quiet village, whose life was transformed by patience, struggle, and unwavering focus. Aarav's father had passed away when he was very young, leaving him with responsibilities far beyond his age. His house was small, made of mud and thatch, but filled with the warmth of his mother's love. Every morning, before the sun had even risen, Aarav stepped into the cool morning air. He worked tirelessly in the fields, plowing, watering crops, feeding animals, carrying heavy loads from sunrise to noon. His hands were rough, his back ached, but he never complained. Every drop of sweat was a step toward a dream he dared to imagine. As the sun dipped low, turning the fields into a sea of gold, Aarav returned home, dusty and exhausted. After a quick meal, he would sit under a dim lamp to study. While other children played and laughed, Aarav quietly turned the pages of his books. Knowledge became his escape, a window to a world beyond the village. His dream of doing something greater with his life kept him going through pain and hardship. The villagers admired him for his hard work. "Such a diligent boy," they said. "One day, he will achieve great things." But when exam results came, Aarav failed in just one subject. That single failure changed everything. The same people who praised him now mocked him mercilessly. Each word felt like a stone thrown at his chest. Aarav did not speak. He walked silently through the village streets, head down, heart heavy. That night he cried, not because of the failure itself, but because he felt he had failed himself and his mother. He questioned whether dreams were only meant for others, not for him. The next day, in despair, he visited his old teacher Ustad Rahim, a man known for wisdom and patience. "Sir," he said softly, "people laugh at me wherever I go. Their words pierce me. I don't know how to live like this anymore." The teacher listened quietly, his eyes calm and understanding. Then he smiled gently. "Tomorrow, I will give you a task. It may seem small, but it will teach you more than any exam ever could." The next morning, Ustad Rahim handed Aarav a large clay pot filled with fresh milk. "Walk through the village and reach the far field," he instructed. "But remember, if even a single drop falls, you must return." Aarav felt the weight of the pot in his hands. He knew the villagers would gather, some laughing, some whispering, a few even trying to distract him. But this time, something was different. Aarav's eyes stayed fixed on the pot. Step by step, he moved slowly and deliberately. He felt every movement, every heartbeat. The noise of the world faded. All he could see was the pot. All he could hear was his own breath. As he walked, he noticed familiar faces of those who had mocked him. Their expressions tried to pierce his concentration. But Aarav's mind was no longer attached to their words. He felt calm, focused, and determined. Every step was careful, deliberate, intentional. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, he reached the far field. Not a single drop had spilled. Returning to his teacher, he said, "Sir, I didn't hear their laughter. I didn't notice anything else. All I could focus on was the pot." The teacher smiled, eyes full of warmth. That, Aarav, is focus. When your mind is fully engaged on a goal, the world loses its power over you. People's words, distractions, negativity, they cannot touch you. You can control yourself, and in that control you find strength. From that day, Aarav's life began to change. He stopped worrying about what others thought. He stopped being distracted by noise, judgment, or fear. He focused entirely on his work, his studies, and his dreams. Step by step, day by day, he built discipline and character. He improved not just in studies, but in life itself. Months later, Aarav appeared for the exam again. This time, he passed with flying colors. But the true victory wasn't the grades, it was the inner strength, the unshakable focus, and the confidence he carried within. Remember this: when you focus deeply on your goal, distractions fade. Negativity loses its power. Success becomes natural. Like a camera blurs the background when focusing on a subject, you too can blur out the noise and see only what truly matters. If this story inspired you, like this video, subscribe to Motisafe, and share it with someone who needs motivation today.